Welcome back to another Evil GT video. Part 5 of the Leon Cupra build. I've got a box of tricks all for the engine. Today should be a good day.
Well, that ain't a good start, is it? Because you can't even get the box in.
I knew I should have kept the hatch back.
If you just stumbled on today's video, here's a quick recap.
We bought the car from the Toon for $3,500.
Then we stripped it down, fixed the seat and the bodywork.
We got it painted, and then we took it to Awesome to do a health check on the engine to see what it was like before we started tuning, and that's when the problem started.
So the engine had a problem, 100 PSI down on cylinder 1. So we had two options: replace the engine or forge the engine.
So we decided to take the engine out and forge it, because now we know what we're working with.
We've never forged an engine before, so what could go wrong?
This here is the block, and this bit's been machined flat. Scott, what's that bit called?
The block.
The block. Yeah, so that there has been machined, as you can see, and then inside the bore's been machined, 1/2 mil each bore. So we've got 1/2 mil oversized pistons. They've been bored to the piston size, so they will fit like a glove, mate. There's the new flywheel in there. We've gone for a dual mass to save on gearbox lash. What we didn't want, really, was a car that was hard work to drive, right? However, we want decent power, and with the organic clutch, which is like the whole circle thing, you know, with the friction material that goes all the way around it, you have to limit the torque, and by limiting the torque, that means it's not Evil GT. We've effectively ruined how the car's going to drive, but it'll have more power. So many weeks later, we've got the engine back. The engine shop did absolutely everything. They fully machined it all out, all the bores, they've done all the head work on it and all that kind of stuff as well. So they've done everything, and they put it back together to this state. The bill so far for that engine to be on that pallet was just shy of £2,000 for anybody that's wondering. All the machine work and putting it back together, and all the head work and the valves and the valve guides, all that stuff. This is the TTE 480 big boy turbo. Now this you can either have as a main unit, which I think is just shy about two and a half grand, or you can do a surcharge where you send your old turbo back. As long as that's in decent condition, it's not got cracks everywhere and all knackered, they will give you a surcharge. I think it's about 1,200 quid. So in the end, this has cost us just shy of £1,800 this unit, because we've sent our old one back, and the paint job was £1,500. So far, if your maths is adding up, the car cost 3.5 grand, the turbos cost us £1,800, and so far the engine rebuild has just been shy of £2,000. We've then got a bill in there. I'll save that until probably the end of this video, maybe next video, but I nearly threw up when I saw it. So for those who are good at maths, I think you'll already see that we're well over 10 grand on this car now. And that leads me on to a few comments that you guys were saying a little while ago about, oh, it's dead easy to do a car, 400 horsepower hatchback for less than 10 grand. And I suppose it might be, but whether or not it's done properly and how long it will last, who knows? So we bought coilovers and had it painted, and you know, we've had the rear subframe powder coated, loads of other things, so we've gone way above and beyond. But we could have done it for less than 10 grand, but we'd have had a bit of a shed still. Bit of a situation report. We've had to go and buy a load of new injectors. The 4 injectors that were in it, the baskets at the end have completely gone, knackered. It's there, 200 quid each, best part of. We've gone for some NGK, Iridium, whatever they are, Eldor Corporation premium ignition coil packs, like the R8 in inverted commas coil pack. So that is going to be going in here, and I'm sure that is a job that I could do. New spark plugs and coil packs in by me, so you can guarantee if there is a misfire on this car, you know who's going to get blamed, don't you? I fitted a new PCV valve because this one is 2009 and these are quite common to fail. The lads had one in stock, so we fitted that. We're going to get the flywheel on, the new Sachs Performance sintered clutch we're going to put on. We had a paddle clutch on a couple of different cars. We had one on the B7 RS4 and I didn't like it. It's just too harsh for daily driving. However, we didn't want to cap the torque on this car. We wanted to, you know, it's forged rods and pistons. We've gone to town on it. We've done a lot of work on this engine, so I didn't want to then be limited by an organic clutch. It's going to compromise the drive a little bit, I would expect, but it is what it is. This is a coolant pipe coming from the thermostat you just said, and there was a weird random Jubilee clip, right? Rather than buying a new one, they've stuck that in and Jubilee clipped it. We need to order a new one of them, I'm assuming, and that's not going to be cheap because I know our luck. It's 10 to 12, there's obviously lunchtime yet, till 1, so then he's going to have 4 hours to somehow get that engine back in the Cupra and get it started. What we're probably going to have to do for the time being is put the original slam panel back on with the original welly cooler, because the new intercooler isn't here yet. It's bolted in where it needs to be bolted in, so it's now attached to the car. Obviously there's just the hoses and different connectors and things that we've got to connect up. I say we, Greg's going to do that because I haven't got a clue what goes where, to be honest. But I feel like we're on the home straight. This feels good. Now, great news, pretty much everything is back together. This all looks mint. The worry is that this oil here is mineral oil. I got it from Euro Car Parts because I couldn't get Miller's in time for today. It's 1540 mineral oil and this car takes 530. But apparently it's something to do with the minerals in it, helps the engine to bed in. It quite specifically says on the front of it, it's for diesel engines. One thing I do have to stress is that's not Awesome's recommendation. I spoke to the engine shop who did all of the boring and building and all that kind of stuff, and they said it's fine. That sounds awful. That sounds alright. It all sounds like it's at the top end. So whether or not the oil pressure is not building enough to get the oil up the top or what, I don't know. We at least got it started. I don't know why Alan's laughing. Brilliant, you can tell it's not his problem, can't you? So never mind that, I just went outside to move my car out of the way, and it was literally the oil. I did say that because obviously I'm an expert in that. So this just needed some oil up here, right? The hydraulic lift is needed on it. There we go. So that's all sound now. We're all oil pressured up and sounding miles better. What is this and why have I got to change it?
Aircon condenser.
It's an aircon condenser. Oh.
As you can see.
I'm not sure you're supposed to be able to see straight away through it.
The other thing is, you can see how it's all more or less like blocks here.
Yeah.
So that's going to be blocking airflow over your
intercooler, because the intercooler is sandwiched in this, and that's why people say the welly cooler is better because that's front mounted. But we're not going to go with that, are we? We're going to put a Forge intercooler, which I'm assuming is this. Forge intercooler is in there, and that's going to be sandwiched in between the two. So this is the stock intercooler, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's the stock intercooler.
Right, so that's coming out, and the Forge one's going in, and then the new.
Put that on your Yaris.
All right, sweet. Yeah, I'll do that actually.
Fits straight on, you see. All made in the same factory.
Ran into a little bit of a complication. That should be welded to that, but it's snapped, which has caused this to catch on the fan at the front. So I need to find an aluminium welder to sort this out for me. There we go, pipe. All welded, bracket back on. Hopefully that's at the right angle, I've no idea, but it looks like it'll fit. The new Forge intercooler looks amazing. The quality of them welds, we see a lot of stuff these days, exhaust particularly, and some of the welds on the exhaust and stuff, you think, not great, but that intercooler looks phenomenal. So there we have it. It looks like the front end is pretty much back on. We've got a new aircon compressor. We're going to do a gas of the air conditioning to make sure that all works, because there was a pipe down there that was split, in case you missed that on a previous video. Otherwise, just headlights, bumper. So I know with the intercooler that this did have on it, you guys were like, oh, it's the best one to have because it's front mounted, but it absolutely butchered the crash bar, which obviously isn't very safe. And it didn't look great. It was pushing the front bumper out as well with the pipes that come around here. With the Forge intercooler that I have, it's been designed specifically for this car, and that is exactly how God intended it. Perfect. It looks a million times better straight away. I can't remember whether we had an under tray or not. I don't think we have, so I think we need to get one of them as well. The new struts we've got that are over in the box, just over there. So they'll be going in there with the new springs and stuff. We've got the ABS sensors, which plugs into somewhere up here, and we've got the headlight level sensor, which goes up there somewhere as well. So yeah, get it finished today, mate, yeah? So after a while of pleading with Greg here, I finally managed to get him to do the shocks before 5 o'clock. So we decided to go with ST suspension, which I think was about £800-900, something like that. And hopefully it'll be a miles better ride and performance than the stock suspension. The new and improved Evil GT, that's what this is. The dust covers on the back brakes, the discs, we've got them here. I've had a bit of a brainwave. I think I'm going to paint them black because the last lot rotted, hence the reason why we've had to get new ones. So I'm going to scotch these back, paint them black. What do you reckon? This is Cerakote. I assume it's some sort of ceramic coating.
That's exactly what it is.
Blue is in the title, I suppose. Cerakote completed, certificate, nice one. They're absolutely perfect, look at them, all black, shiny and new. So a job for me when I get this back to the unit is to replace these. These have completely seized. So we bought a new set of rears that are nice and shiny, new and red. So they'll be mega when I get them on. Gotta be honest, I don't think there's going to be much on the back end of this car that's not going to be new. One little bit of good news with this car was that the front and rear discs are practically brand new. I also want to get the fronts refurbished. Can't really see them all that well, but the fronts need refurbing definitely because they are a bit of a pig's ear. They look a bit rubbish. But there's about a 2 to 3 week wait, so what I'm probably going to do is daily it first, get it nicely running, and then send this off before we get it tuned. Well, it's still moving. That's a result. Doesn't she look good? Still need to get the spoiler back on it. Definitely needs some wheel spacers. How's it feel? All right.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got 13mm spacers on the back and 12mm spacers on the front. I think, my opinion, it'll probably rub, but at least it looks good from the side. Look at how this sits now. That to me is absolutely bang on. Beautiful. So you've still got to sort bits out like this and get the rubber trim in at the top of the door and the spoiler and the front bits on it and stuff like that. But I think you'll agree, it is starting to take shape now, this car. So once it's done on the geo ramp now, I'm going to get it back to our unit. We'll replace the rear brake calipers because they're seized. I'll take the fronts off, get them refurbished, painted red with the Cupra, up the spring clip, the retaining spring clip on the front. And there's a couple of other bits and pieces I need to do. I need to clean out the interior because that's dusty from the body shop. And yeah, so there's still loads to do. Jed, as everyone knows, I like the fast race car setup. Is that all right?
Yeah, so we'll just smash a load of camber and tow in on
extra race car is what I want.
Well, it'd help if you could drive like a racing driver.
Look at that, the lads are professional. You done this before, you? So we're going for a little mooch around. The air conditioning works, that's a good start. Look, it's on low and it is actually really cold. Feels good. So that'll be good for some road trips abroad. How does the clutch feel for a start?
Feels alright.
Does it?
It's not too heavy or bike point isn't too bad.
That's good news. Feels firm in here, I'll be honest. It actually feels good. I can't believe the engine's back in.
Driving, no knocks and bangs. Steering wheel's straight.
Feel good?
I'm happy with it. I definitely want to go there once it's done.
Once it's done,
Yeah.
400 plus horsepower.
Yeah.
And it's making good turbo flutters. So there we have it, the Cooper is back home. There's plenty more to do on this. Cleaning the interior, sorting out the bodywork, as in putting the spoiler back on, the side skirts back on. There's a repair that I need to do with the skirts. They're still at the body shop. So yeah, loads still to do, but she's back here and I can crack on with this myself now.